stuff happens like that,
And
just,
then
you know.
because of that, they just end up getting away, and it's like, oh, great. Now you
In
got to
fact,
do it all over again.
In fact, I remember there was a point in the first season where Robotnik was like, I always wanted to capture you and have a little fun with you, but now I think I just want to kill you. Yeah.
It's like...
So this is one of the reasons why this is one of my favorite episodes, because it may be a diabolical death scheme, but I really think this is a reference to Sonic Spinball.
He's just going to play some pinball with him.
Yeah, he's going to play some pinball with Sonic.
This could be where they got the idea for that game, though, too.
Now, this portal is... no, the game came out way before this episode. But this portal actually is another plot development that comes in later on. There was a lot of things that they introduced in this episode that wound up becoming a mainstay in the plot to come, because that was the big thing of what gravitated me to Sonic so much was the first season was great. I loved it. But the second season was what made it for me, because this was the first time I was introduced to a continuous plot. So and actually this episode ends on a sour note. And that's definitely not something you see too much in cartoons, especially from the early 90s. There's always the happy ending to the episode. So, yeah, here's what I always felt was the Sonic Spinball reference. And then Sonic winds up ponying everybody. I just love that voice. That voice is so, Jaleel White did such a good job voicing Sonic. Diabolical death schemes. It's great. Now you're just frozen. But yeah, it's just watching this again just makes me realize how much I miss the early 90s, because you don't get cartoons like this anymore. It's either everything is either flash animated or it's an anime.
Yeah.
It's just you don't get
And
original
the shows
American programming anymore.
Like Nickelodeon now is just all real life shows now.
Well, at least they got Fairly Odd Parents, which is pretty good, and I never really was too much of a fan of SpongeBob. I mean, I don't hate it.
Well, that's the only two things I have left that I remember growing up with.
Well, what about Avatar?
Everybody
goes on about Avatar. Everybody says Avatar. Oh my god, it's awesome. I watched a couple episodes of it. I'm like, this is just trying too hard to be an anime. Now, here comes a big shocker moment. We find out that Ari was betrayed Sonic because his own peeps were caught, and captured by Robotnik. Robotnik used them as leverage to
so he's bad, but he's not.
But oh shit, they're roboticized. Robotnik's a douchebag. Of course, because
Robotnik's a total jerk face.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's what happens when you trust Robotnik. So remember, kids at home, if you ever get captured by Robotnik and he says, "Oh, do something for me and I'll do something for you," just tell him to go sit on it, He's
going to be a total horse dick, too. You
said it wrong.
I know. I got to say horse dick.
Exactly. But, now this is another thing that was weird, if I remember right. Dulcie does not breathe fire. Yeah, it's ice.
Snorts ice.
Yeah, a dragon that breathes ice and not fire.
Well, that's kind of like what happens with Spyro. I forget which game it was. It was either the second or the third one, but he can get different abilities instead of breathing fire, but he could shoot ice and do other weird things.
Mm. And so now there's instant reconciliation. I guess he just did that because they need to get the plot going. But yeah, it's just shows like this you never get to see them anymore. The early '90s had so many great cartoons. Everybody remembers Captain Planet. Yeah, Captain Planet was the quintessential early '90s cartoon. There was also great cartoons do you remember Eek the Cat?
No.
You don't remember Eek the Cat?
Yeah, I remember. I got 5 years. You got 5 years on me.
I got 3 years on you.
Yeah, 5.
3.
4 or so.
3. You're as old as my brother.
But still, like,
So-
a lot of the stuff that I grew up with, it was, like, a lot different from the stuff that you can, like,
No, it's
remember.
not.
Like,
It's
like
what
I grew
my
up with this, but it's hard to remember it.
Screw that. See, even there, he just said it. He just said it. Don't touch the door. Don't touch the door. He just said it. So, anyway, yeah, I very rarely in this are there like moments that you can like kind of pull out on it, because the writing team behind this was just so dedicated to this show. That it's really rare to see something like that. It's for something that's just supposed to be this like knockoff cash-in kids show of a popular video game. But they actually on this DVD set they have an interview with Jaleel White, who does the voice of Sonic, of course, and they have an interview with one of the writers from the show, and he was talking about how much he loved writing this show, and you could really tell that he enjoyed it.
And then,
of course,
he gets the ring and just
yeah,
becomes, like, super powerful.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the ring basically does what the Chaos Emeralds do in the games. So there wasn't really no Chaos Emerald plot in this series, but basically the Power Rings kind of fill in for that. So now everything's going to hell right now. So now this is where they drop the plot point that kind of drives the whole season. So yeah, it gets a little emotional, just a little bit. You know, it's not gonna bring tears to your eyes, but
it's like enough to be like, oh
yeah. Yeah, like I said, the episode ends on a little bit of a sour note. Yeah, and like when you're a kid, you very rarely do you actually, you know, like at least growing up in the '90s, because now this is mainstay for children's shows. Is that, you know, they actually have a driving plot. There's wins and there's losses.
And it'll be like 100 episodes before the series finally has like some sort of an ending.
Yeah.
And then there's like another like spin-off of like 100 more episodes afterwards.
Whereas, you know, back then this was rare. And this is, like I said, this is what kind of got me into, you know, in-depth entertainment, something that actually means something more than, you know, just a little 30-minute episode, and then, you know, you just bring the same characters back and everything. Once again, I just love Jaleel White's voice work for Sonic. He's just great. Because he can be cocky, he can be rude, he can be a douchebag, and then he can turn around and be all sentimental as the same character. It's just great. I'm really sorry that he didn't do any other like cartoon voice work that I know of,
or Sonic work after the cartoons.
Well, yeah, it's really sad that he didn't come back and do Sonic X. But Sonic X, you know, it just wasn't as in depth as this was. You know, I mean, like it just wasn't as cool. It wasn't as intense. And you know, it had its fair share of quirky humor, like this one does. But oh yeah, and this was another reoccurring thing was there always kind of be these trade-offs between Sonic and Sally would always get the upper hand. Kind of the, you know, girls are better than guys thing, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, so you just sat through your first episode of Sonic the Hedgehog, which you can pick up in on Amazon.com and on various other DVD retailers. What did you think, Matt?
I don't know. It was good, but it's something like the weekday version still kind of has me a bit more.
Why?
It's just, you watch a cartoon at this time, like when you were at this age, you wanted it for like some humor.
No, for me, I want. This was what I wanted when I was a kid. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Oh, here we go. Yeah.